Greetings and welcome to Points of View. Verizon Wireless has updated their privacy policy, and in this update they've given themselves permission to track customer activities and data like never before. This includes things like app usage, demographic information provided by other companies such as gender and age, device type, calling features, amount of phone use, and let's not forget that whatever search terms you type and these addresses of websites that you visit when browsing the web on a Verizon wireless device. Verizon says that the point of logging all this information and handing it over to other companies is so that they and those unnamed other companies can create business and marketing reports. And let's not forget that old saw about making advertising more relevant. Fortunately, if you're one of those many that don't really appreciate being tracked all over the web just to line somebody's pockets, then you can opt out of this tracking by going to vzw.com/myprivacy or by calling 1-866-211-0874. Of course, you'll still get the ads, but at least you supposedly won't be tracked anymore. Yeah, I believe that all right. Not. Once they start tracking, they don't stop. They just have to get a lot more sneaky about it once you tell them to stop. The thing is that opt-out policies are never the right way to handle privacy-related matters like this. Besides, we all know how well opt-out works. Just take a look at the joke known as Canned Spam Act, or how deliberately confusing and difficult Facebook has made it to opt out of their privacy-infringing default settings. Speaking of Facebook, Facebook Ireland is in trouble for allegedly creating what is being called shadow profiles on both users and non-users alike. These charges come from the Irish Data Protection Commissioner, who has launched an investigation into the practices of Facebook Ireland. Apparently, they've been extracting data from current users without their consent or knowledge and building extensive profiles on people who aren't even members. The information being collected ranges from names, email addresses, phone numbers, work information, and more. Last August, the Irish Data Protection Commissioner received a formal complaint against Facebook Ireland from an Australian law student. It seems that last June he asked Facebook for his data. Surprisingly, Facebook sent him a CD with 3 years worth of very personal stuff that he had previously deleted. It included everything from old friend requests to his history of pokes and lists of people he had unfriended and even entire chat messages. If you think anything you do on Facebook is private, think again. It clearly is not. Finally, Senators Ron Wyden and Mark Udall are very concerned about just exactly how the feds interpret the Patriot Act. They believe that this interpretation is contrary to how most people and even many elected officials believe that the feds interpret the law. New York Times reporter Charlie Savage filed a request under the Freedom of Information Act to find out the federal government's interpretation of its own law. That request was actually refused. According to the feds, their interpretation of the law is classified. Excuse me? I thought secret laws were something you'd expect from old-school communist Russia under Stalin, and not at all what you'd expect the U.S. government to pull. This reminds me of the flap a few years ago when Bush called the Constitution, quote, just a damn piece of paper, unquote. And it also means that the federal government wins this week's Boob of the Week award. Let's slam a bra on them. How anybody can seriously believe that the U.S. government shouldn't explain how it interprets the law that citizens are expected to live by, is totally beyond me. When laws become secrets, it's a sure sign that government is getting too big for its britches. That's my point of view. Thanks for watching.